All right, we have to do something different this week. I will not be back until January 25th, which is Monday. You could probably figure out why. So right now I want you to go ahead, if you're at home, and print out these notes. They're on classifying polynomials. And we'll get started. Then there'll be a lesson on this. Those of you in block today, that's not fifth period, you will have 2 lessons and 2 assignments, but they won't be due until Thursday. So fifth period, yours will be due Wednesday. All right, so classifying polynomials. We can classify polynomials 2 different ways. We can classify by degree or the number of terms. The degree is basically just the highest exponent. So when we have a degree of 0, we call that a constant. And a constant is just any term without a variable. So 3 is a constant. It has a degree of 0 because you can list this as 3x to the 0 power. So that's a constant term. If it has a degree 1, that's linear. And a linear term, the highest exponent is a 1. The exponent on this x is a 1. Degree 2 is called quadratic. So the highest exponent in your problem will have an exponent of 2. So x squared plus 5x minus 6 is quadratic. And these 3 things we've worked on throughout the year: constants, linears, and quadratics. Now for the new ones, degree 3 is called a cubic. A cubic polynomial just has the highest exponent is 3. Doesn't matter how many terms are in here. There's 2 terms. That's 1 term, 2 terms. I'm just looking at the degree. The degree is 3. We call that cubic. Degree 4 is called quartic. Think quarters, quartic. So the highest exponent will be an exponent of 4. I'm putting all of these in standard form, which means highest exponent first, down to the lowest exponent. So this is a quartic polynomial. And then 5 would be quintic. Now there are names for higher degree, but we're not going to get into those. So here is a quintic polynomial, which has a highest exponent of 5. It doesn't matter how many terms there are, just so long the highest exponent is a 5. We call that quintic, and that is classifying by degree. Classifying by number of terms, well, let me give you one here first. This has 1 term. And because the highest degree is 1, it's also linear, but this has 1 term, and this is called a monomial. Mono means 1. This one is also linear, but because it has 2 terms, we call that a binomial. Binomial. 3 terms, you could probably figure that out. 3, prefix for 3 is tri, so trinomial. And this one has the highest exponent of 2, so I would say that's a quadratic trinomial because it has 1, 2, 3 terms. So that's a quadratic trinomial. And then anything larger than 3, we just call that a polynomial of 4 or 5 or 6 terms. So this would be a polynomial of 4 terms. So as an example, 6x to the 5th plus 4x squared plus x minus 3 would be a polynomial of 4 terms. Now, if I asked you to classify by degree, the highest exponent is 5. We would say that's a quintic polynomial of 4 terms. All right, so here's some examples, and then you can start your assignment. Write each polynomial in standard form. Name the polynomial by degree and by number of terms. So when we list them in standard form, we always list the term with the highest exponent first. The exponent's 4. The next is a 2. And the last one is the constant, or the linear part, minus 3x. So classify by degree. Well, because the degree is 4, that's the highest exponent, we will classify that by degree as a quartic. Okay, because it has the highest exponent of 4, it's quartic. Now, the number of terms is 1, 2, 3 terms. By terms, 3 would be a trinomial. So we would say this is a quartic trinomial. This is by degree quartic. This is by number of terms trinomial. All right, next one. Highest exponent I see, that's an x to the third. Not very clear, but that's an x to the third. Then the x to the second is next. Then the x to the first. And then the constant term of 2. So the degree, the highest exponent, is 3. According to the degree, exponent of 3 is cubic. So this is a cubic. And the number of terms is 4. And anything over 3, we're just going to call that a polynomial, in this case of 4 terms. Has 4 terms. All right. The next one, the highest exponent is a 1, so I'd put that 3x plus 8. The degree, the exponent on the x is a 1, which makes this, look back over here, degree, exponent of 1 is linear. And there are 2 terms, so the number of terms equals 2. And on my list, 2 terms is called a binomial. Just like on a bicycle, it has 2 wheels. So that's a linear binomial. And this last one, it's already in standard form. It has a degree of 7. We don't have a name for that, or there is a name, but we're not going to go over that. It's not that important. Degree is 7. Number of terms is 1. 1 term, don't mix these up. It's not linear. Number of terms, it's a monomial. That's just studying. All right, so that's the lesson 1. If you're in block, you can go ahead and print out the homework and use these notes to help you get through that. Don't forget to submit. Have a good day. Lesson 2 coming up soon.